Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. This is a big video, guys. This is absolutely everything that I picked up at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Anaheim, California at Disneyland. It is a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna be showing you everything that I got. I'm not necessarily gonna be opening everything I got. Things that I think you might be particularly interested in. I'll do an entire other video on that so you can really see like how it works, what it looks like, whether it's worth picking up. But I thought it'd be fun to just throw everything here. So I'm not gonna spend too much time with the intro here. Just get it done, let's just do it. All right, collectors, we have so many things to get through. I'm not going to spend too much time on anything, but let's start with currency. Now, I went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge right before Celebration, which I thought would be a perfect time to go. However, almost as soon as I leave, they bring out a whole bunch of cool new stuff. Now, luckily, I was staying at an Airbnb, and someone that was also going to Celebration was staying there as well. We got to talking. Ends up we're going to live like really close to one another before too long, and he was going to Disneyland and he didn't have to carry a bunch of stuff around. So I was able to bring some stuff home for him, and then he was able to pick up some things for me and ship them to me. These are some of the things that he picked up for me. They had just released this new currency there, which is really cool. So we have the New Republic credits, which come in 4 different styles and a couple different colors, which are pretty cool. And then we have the Mandalorian coins here. Now, a lot of these things are things that we saw like in Solo when they were playing Sabacc and they were at the table. So we saw coins that look like this there. And then calamari flan, which I believe we've seen in the Mandalorian. I think we've seen some of these things in the Mandalorian as well. But I thought these were kind of cool. Now, I am missing Imperial credits. I don't even know if I knew that those existed at the time because they were brand new, but hopefully I'll be able to get some of those. And then these are gift cards that you can get at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. There's a minimum amount you have to put on there, but if you put that amount on there, then you can pay, I think it's $5 more, and they will give you one of these cool gift cards. So these are basically, you know, Batuu credits or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge credits. I bought a lot of stuff, so I just kind of kept buying gift cards so that I could have a small collection of these too. So I think I ended up with maybe 4 of these or something like that. But they're pretty cool as well. So that's kind of the currency type things that we got. Just something that I'll kind of throw in a display case together, just to make it kind of feel very like real world. Let's continue with a couple real world type things here. This is an Imperial officer rank badge. It comes with 18 different little pieces. In the original trilogy, these were just little pieces of acrylic. These also appear to be some kind of plastic as well, and you can reconfigure them. On the back here, which is kind of cool, they do show you what all the different ranks are. Now, if you're a real junkie like me, you know that those ranks kind of changed here and there as far as how they were being displayed in the movies. But I thought these were kind of cool. You know, this would be something that I could maybe put with like a future Moff Tarkin or Grand Admiral Thrawn or something like that. It might be kind of cool to have their officer rank badge next to it. Of course, you could make something like this as well, and I believe there's some on Etsy, but you know, this wasn't all that expensive there actually at the park, so I decided to pick that up as well. This is the compass. This is a star compass. We saw this for the first time in Star Wars Battlefront 2 in the scene where Luke Skywalker meets up with one of our defected heroes. And then we also saw it as a prop in The Last Jedi. It was on a table. So on the back here it says an antiquated tool of navigation featuring a Suprema Luminite lodestone attuned to hyperspace vectors. A compass like this was recovered by Luke Skywalker inside of one of the Emperor's observatories on the planet Pilio. Just kind of a cool thing. You know, I love one-to-one props. I thought this was kind of a cool little pickup. I believe that this was also pretty new when I was there. Lastly, one of the coolest things that I did was I went to Oga's Cantina, and they have little coasters there. And I happened to pick a couple of them up while I was there. Looks like I got a couple that are the same, but they all have, you know, Arabesh on it, and of course I'm an Arabesh junkie, so I love anything that has that on there. But just some cool art styles. The reverse side here is all the same on them. It was a cool experience being there. DJ Rex playing the tunes and getting to connect with a couple fans that were there for Celebration. It was just a really nice time. It was a cool atmosphere, and the food wasn't bad, and the drinks were pretty good too. Let's get a little bigger with our items here. So these are the sages. They have interesting names: Barada, Donlos, and Faya Rodimo statues, 2 decorative figures with light effect. And this one, of course, is Sistros Nevet and Yanjan Zelmar. These are statues that you see in a much larger version when we visit Emperor Palpatine or Chancellor Palpatine's office in Revenge of the Sith and the prequels in general. But they're just kind of cool. You know, I love things that are in Star Wars, but maybe not the most well known. And I think that a collection of the 4 of these on a shelf will look, you know, very in-world, like they came as an actual relic right out of Star Wars. They have a light up base on them, so the base where the actual statue attaches lights up. There's also a little ring that goes around the edge as well. And there's just all kinds of cool symbols and things like that. And they kind of have an antique look to them. So, you know, not a must-have for most collections. You know, it might just be taking up a little space for a lot of people, but I like nerdy stuff like this. Nerdy stuff, guys. Another item that was a must-have for me was completing my Dejarik figure set. I already have the other 4. If you haven't watched that video, I'll try to link it here. But now I've got the other 4, so I will be doing a separate unboxing on these. There is some really cool looking guys in here. Honestly, between the 2 sets, if you only had to buy one, this is probably the one that I would buy, but it was nice to pick it up in person. All right, collectors, of course, this is the Camtono Case. This, of course, we know from The Empire Strikes Back, and then it's being sort of recontextualized into The Mandalorian. This is something that they sell in the park. It's maybe not quite the right size, it's just like slightly too small, but it still looks really good. This is actually a functional safe, so if you want to see this thing in operation, be on the lookout for a future video that will kind of go about how it goes. But you know, it's kind of a really cool prop. I was very surprised, and I can't wait to show you more about it. All right, let's move on into soft goods. We've got a couple soft goods here. We have another hat. This is another Imperial officer hat. If you saw me at Star Wars Celebration, you know that's typically the hat that I'm sporting when I'm at a Star Wars event. But I thought it was pretty cool. I don't have one in green, so I was happy to pick up a green one. Also picked up this first order version of an officer hat. Now I went back and forth on this one quite a bit because this little badge thing on top is very specific to the parks, very specific to the division or whatever you want to call it that is supposed to be on Batuu. So, you know, and it says first order in English on here. So I didn't love that part. But if you watched my last video, you know that Gabe from Star Wars Replicas was very kind enough to give me a little badge. So this is actually just slightly too small to cover it up entirely, but I think I'll be able to take the stitches out of this piece, put this badge on instead, and have myself a very nice looking first order hat that will look, you know, look canon, look like it's in universe. So I was excited to receive that. That's fun. When I was there, it got a little chilly, I have to admit. So I went ahead and picked up this, I think they just call it a Jedi Robe, but I think we all know this as Obi-Wan Kenobi's robe. So there aren't like armholes or anything like that, but it just sort of drapes you like this. Now I was hoping to, in addition to picking up this robe, that I would be able to pick up his little tunic and his little belt, but all of that seems to be very, very out of stock right now. So if you happen to see those, you happen to see them hop up on shopdisney.com, please let me know, because I would love to finish off this piece here and have a full Obi-Wan getup, because, you know, I always liked Obi-Wan, but especially after Kenobi, which I enjoyed quite a bit, I'm feeling in an Obi-Wan mood. And if you happen to watch my full gallery tour for this year, you would have actually seen this piece. This is the one piece that was actually in there because I had already gone ahead and put it on here. This is Kylo Ren's hood. Now I have a life-size Kylo Ren that I have here in the basement in my collection, but I was not completely satisfied with this piece that goes around him, his little hood. And since it's, you know, by the face, by the mask, I thought a nice little upgrade for him would be nice. Now, it's kind of getting my face lost in here, but you can see where this is a nicer waffle knit than what maybe the current one that I already had was, and just sort of a nice little piece. So I did not wear this when I was cold. At least I don't think I did. Maybe I did wear this, but it was kind of a cool little piece. And since then, they've actually added a full Kylo Ren getup that you can get there. I think it's maybe modeled after more his, definitely not his Force Awakens look, so it must either be The Last Jedi or the Rise of Skywalker look. It's a little more quilted and patterned, but it's a cool looking piece. So if you're really wanting a Kylo Ren cosplay, then you have what you want at Batuu. We've got some lightsabers here. Now, I had managed to sort of pick up most of the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers I'd wanted through eBay and things of that nature. I try not to pay much over, you know, the retail price, but you know, and I've done pretty well with doing that. But this is Cal Kestis's lightsaber. So I'm looking forward to opening that and showing you guys what that looks like here in a future video. And then on the dark side, we have the Maul lightsaber. So this is sort of the Shadow Collective one that he has in season 7 of the Clone Wars. And then this is half of the episode 1 lightsaber. So that I'm able to put these two together to make an authentic episode or season 7 Clone Wars Darth Maul lightsaber. So look out for, you know, probably a Cal Kestis video and then sort of a Darth Maul, you know, reforged type lightsaber video here very shortly. Collectors, I've saved the best for last. Now, when I went to Galaxy's Edge, the first thing I did rope drop in the morning, which means you get there kind of early. They let you in a little bit, then they let you in a little bit more, and let you in a little bit more. And it's just sort of like, you know, calmly booked it to the Rise of the Resistance, which was an amazing ride. And then from there went immediately to Dok-Ondar's to spend every dollar I had. Now, you know, I kind of knew what I wanted when I got there, and but I was getting so many things that it sort of took me a little bit of time to put it together. So, you know, I leave and I'm gonna ship it all home, and I got a lot of looks walking out of Dok-Ondar from there to Droid Depot, which is not a very far walk, because I was carrying this giant box and giant bag. This, I believe, with the exception of maybe being able to buy that full-size R2-D2 for 25 grand, I believe this is about the biggest collectible you can get at Galaxy's Edge right now. This is the Darth Vader Pyre helmet. Now, I had a representation of this, or have a representation of this, that's 3D printed, that I'll probably be moving on from because I've seen what this one looks like, and it is a very impressive piece. We'll get rid of that. Ooh. All right. So, Darth Vader Pyre helmet. Includes display base, and it looks really cool. The box is huge, and that's because the helmet and the display base and all that stuff are also really huge. Now, not cheap. This is $350 if you get it at Galaxy's Edge, but that's a lot for this price. You know, any kind of decent helmet outside of the Black Series is going to cost you around $350. This has got a lot of really cool details to it. I have heard that the paint maybe needs a little bit of an upgrade on it. When I watched Evan the Collector, his version of it, he kind of thought it could use a little enhancement. But I think it's super cool. And as far as we can tell, this is based off of, you know, the same molds that we've seen used by some of the really, really high-end expensive ones. I don't know how, I don't know why, but this is one hell of a value if that is the case, because you know, the other versions of this were selling for many, many times over what that price is. So, you know, if you want to see this get unboxed and reviewed, make sure you stay tuned because we'll be doing that here shortly. All right, collectors, well, there you have it. This is everything that I can remember that I bought at Galaxy's Edge. They probably don't have anything left because it looks like I bought it all. You know, a little ridiculous, honestly. I've probably bought way too many things, but I don't get to Disneyland or Disney World all that often. So, you know, I've been dreaming about going to Galaxy's Edge since 2019 when they did a preview of it at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. So, you know, this was a long time coming. This was, you know, 3 years worth of, you know, certain items that I would see that I'd be like, oh, I really want to pick that up. I want to pick that up. So, you know, and if we were to take away the Pyre helmet, this stack would be much smaller and maybe a little bit more humble looking. But, you know, it was a great experience. I know sometimes Batuu gets a bad rap sometimes from hardcore Star Wars fans, but you know, what doesn't from hardcore Star Wars fans sometimes. But I thought it was a really cool experience. I thought it was super immersive. I kept going back and back, and I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend you go to Batuu if you haven't been to Batuu. Guys, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you like videos like this, please subscribe. So much new content coming. There are probably 30 different things that I have to do videos on, including a number of the things that you see here in front of you. So if you want to know more about these lightsabers, if you want to see more about this Pyre helmet, maybe some of these guys over here, make sure you subscribe and follow along because we're going to be going through each one of them. Maybe it's something that you want to add to your collection as well. All right, guys, see ya.